be here with you today and talk about one of my absolute favorite topics, artificial intelligence. It fills my entire day, I've got to say. But I want to focus on today how this impacts you. How can AI and automations make your life easier? In other words, we've got a lot of stuff to do, right? Is there anybody who's bored in here? Give me a hand. We're not. We're busier than we have ever been. So how can we use technology to create capacity? I love this quote. Just as electricity transformed almost everything 100 years ago, today I actually have a hard time thinking of an industry that I don't think AI will transform in the next several years. So AI is here to stay, and it is transforming our work in every facet. So no, when I was putting together this presentation, it was very difficult for me to figure out what to leave out. And here's why. This is true. Every single industry on the planet, from mining all the way to audio production, is being impacted by AI in some way. So, I'm not going to get into the specifics of these different areas of artificial intelligence, but I want to highlight the different domains. So we hear some of these terms floating, like machine learning. We're not going to get into what is machine learning, but what I want you to figure out or understand is that deep learning and predictive analytics is an outcome of machine learning. So as a leader in your organization, you're figuring out what technologies do I use to do my job. And if somebody in your organization says, oh, we're using machine learning, automatically think deep learning and predictive analytics. Natural language processing. Do we have any Bible translators in the house? Or people who work with Bible translation? Okay, great, thank you. There's a lot going on with NLP in terms of Bible translation. So when you hear NLP, I want you to think of translation, like I said, classification and clustering. If you're categorizing information, that's where you could use NLP, and then information extraction. Speech. Who has an iPhone? Right? So speech to text, you're already used to that. Text to speech. So we're pretty familiar with that version of AI. So needless to say, we're probably all already using AI. Expert systems. So expert systems allow you to take large amounts of complex information and deliver answers to particular questions. You might encounter an expert system on a website where you're interacting to say buy a car and you're answering questions to figure out which car is the right one for you. You are probably interacting with an expert system. It's also good for planning, scheduling, and optimization. Makes sense, right? Robotics. Okay, robotics, right? So that's another huge area of growth that we're seeing. I just came back from Mongolia, and I went through the airport in Seoul, and I encountered two different robots. One that would help me with my wayfinding. I could ask it any questions. So I went up to it and I said, here's my flight number, what gate am I at? And I could ask a whole myriad of questions. And then my favorite one of my colleagues tried, is there's actually a robot that will carry your luggage. So if you're, yeah, isn't that great? I'm like, where is this in the United States, right? I just loved that. And of course, the Koreans are very technology savvy folks, so it didn't surprise me, but I'm thinking, wow, when will those robots come to a McDonald's near you? Because I was in the UK recently, and instead of a person taking my order, a robot took my order. And then vision. So computer vision, which is image recognition, machine vision. This is being used in automated cars or smart cars, as in the type that will drive for you. It's interpreting information it sees So for any of you who are following that amazing technology, these are all things that are empowered by AI. So this image of a gentleman in his business clothes, right? And he's standing by the ocean. This was created by DALL-E 2. DALL-E 2 is an open AI product. So I literally said businessman standing by the ocean. The reason why I show you this particular image is that this is us. AI is the ocean. Right now, there are more AI systems that I couldn't even possibly tell you about. Like there is this, what we call age of AI. So you remember the digital age? This is the age of AI. So one of the questions you might ask yourself is, okay, I see all of these articles about these really cool tools. How do I know which tool is right for me? How do I choose a tool? Is there any criteria that you would suggest that I consider when I'm looking at these tools? So we're going to go through that. So these are 8 selection tips. So I'm going to be sharing with you today about specific tools. And your favorite tool may not have made my list, right? That doesn't matter. What I want you to do is I really want you to take home this slide, these selection tips. So first of all, it has to be purpose-driven, right? It has to align with what you need it to do. So it's doing a specific job. It may be solving a specific problem in your organization. And just a little tidbit about identifying the problem. Make sure that everybody's problem definition is the same, right? Who's been in a meeting where you're talking about a problem and then you go, wait, how do you see that problem? And then you realize that the way the other person articulated it and the way you articulate it or see it is different. So think about what problem you're trying to solve or need you're trying to meet. You want it to be user-friendly. If it requires a PhD, don't use it, right? Prioritize tools that are easy to use and provide reliable support, right? So I call that phoning a friend. My support person is phoning a friend. I want to be able to get in touch with somebody, get real information, real time. It has to be compatible. So it has to integrate with your existing tools. So rarely does any piece of software or tool exist by itself. Does it work alongside your other tools? Is it secure? Security is a big consideration with AI. Here's one thing I'm going to tell you to do. It's going to be the most boring thing you've ever done. Read the terms and conditions. I repeat, read the terms and conditions. Maybe you have some legal friends or that's an attorney who's into this, and you can say, well, what did it say? You can have that talk with them. But it's really, really important that you know what any tool does with your data. And there's a lot of misinformation right now, even with OpenAI and ChatGPT, what happens to your data. You own your data. They don't own your data. It needs to be scalable. So probably if you're using an AI tool, you're using it for a specific issue, and you're doing a proof of concept. And then you might want to do that on scale. Well, if it doesn't scale, it doesn't matter if that tool solved your problem for the one instance. It needs to solve your problem at scale. And again, back to supportive. Does it have training or customer service? So that's the thing. Some of these AI tools are open source. So you can't phone a friend. There isn't someone to talk to. Now note, if you have a community, I belong to Faith Tech, I can plug in to and ask questions. That's great. So that support may not be a 1-800 number to the company who built the tool. It could be to another community, but it's important to be able to get help. Cost effective. So I'm all over return on investment. So the cost of the tool versus the improvement in productivity, weigh those out, make sure it makes sense, make sure your CFO signs off, and then peer approved. So it's still the name of the game, reviews, sell, sell, sell. So if you're seeing reviews and you have questions, look at that feedback and look for people from similar industries to what you do and say, okay, how are they utilizing this tool? Does it make sense? Is it performing? So first, we're going to talk about tools that will make your workday better. So it's all about working smarter, not harder, right? So first of all, how many people in the room use Zoom? A lot of you, right? Do you know that Zoom can actually automate scheduling for you and other administrative tasks? Right. And by the way, today I'm going to share different tools with you. I want to challenge you to pick one out of all of the different tools I'm going to show you today. Whatever one just sparks your interest. And I want you to go try it. I want you to try it. Because especially for the leaders in this room, you can't go where you don't know, right? So if your staff comes to you and say, can I use ChatGPT to write my blog post? Can I use ChatGPT to write social media copy? Try it. See what their experience is. See what you think, and that'll help you with your conversation. XAI, it organizes meetings efficiently. Who loves meeting scheduling? Nobody's going to raise their hand there. And then Asana. Asana, if you already use that, can actually predict workloads for more efficient project management. This is one of my favorite slides because this is going to really save you time. Crafting content. So if you use tools, it's going to elevate your quality, it's going to save your time, and hopefully it inspires you. ChatGPT, it generates text. And guess what? It's a draft. And if you don't like it, you can regenerate it. And what I see is people using more than one tool. So they maybe generate a draft in ChatGPT. They put it into Grammarly. They'll edit it, maybe share it with some colleagues, edit it. So really, it's a good place to start, if anything. We've got Copy.ai. This particular tool is fashioned around marketing content, helping you generate marketing content, especially for product. Word AI. Has anybody tried Word AI? That generates articles for you. So if your website has blog posts can be time consuming. If you have articles, you can use Word AI and it'll generate a draft for you. Last but not least, search engine optimization, right? You want in your copy, if you put any copy on a web page, you want to make sure that it has the right keywords so when somebody goes to that search engine, they're finding your content. Well, Lumar actually extracts web data, and it will help enhance your search engine visibility. So it'll tell you what kind of keywords that you should be baking into your content to be discovered. But it's using research, right? It's going out there to see what is being said in that domain on that topic. Enhancing communication, right? A lot of us are collaborating. We're in virtual teams. So, how can we improve collaboration and communication? With AI, using search, predictive text, and smart reply. Slack, a lot of people already use Slack. It has predictive text. You can turn that on. It'll auto-complete your sentence for you. It'll help you, especially if you have a thread going. It's smart enough to know, okay, this is probably the next best reply. It'll help you with that. Microsoft Teams has search capability based off of AI in their conferencing. So you can take notes. You can go back and you can know. It can help you determine what your tasks are, all through enhanced search. And then Google Workspace. If you're using Google, have you noticed that over time, as you reply to emails, it's helping you, it's giving you more and more aids to help you with your response? Well, I'll up the ante here and say add Grammarly Go. If you download the desktop version of Grammarly Go, it will actually smart reply on any interface. Any place that you're typing is smart enough to give you actual suggestions. I mean, it'll give you some prompts to look at, to choose from. It'll generate the whole email for you. Now, note, I don't recommend generating anything and just hitting send. I always double check. I always read, right? Because remember, this is technology. It's not perfect. It was created by a human. Data analysis is not, if you're a numbers person here, forgive me, but data analysis, I don't hear people jump up and down when I say data analysis a lot of times. I love numbers, but not everybody loves numbers. Are there tools that can help you with data analysis? Yes. Even ChatGPT can analyze textual and numerical data. So you can feed it data, and it will analyze it for you. You could feed it financials, and it'll analyze it for you. So if you haven't tried that, and you work with a lot of numbers, like budgets, I really recommend that. RapidMiner is a data processing platform. So this is business intelligence. It's an AI-based business intelligence platform. So this is for people who are really crunching very serious numbers. That would be a tool for you. Data Robot allows you to quickly deploy machine learning models. So remember, I came back here and I said machine learning. What do I want you to think of when I say machine learning, predictive analytics? Does that impact anybody in here? Are we in digital? Right? Predictive analytics. And then Tableau. So Tableau uses AI to create visualizations of data. You could put a wall of number in front of somebody. Here's a chart with numbers. You give them in the graphic. It's amazing how the conversation changes. Producing video. Okay, this was the fun part of the presentation. So what I did is I generated a script. Here it is, out of ChatGPT, and I basically fed it my presentation. And I said, create a short video based on my presentation. So here's what it says. Fade in. We're in the living room. Sarah, a busy mother, entrepreneur, and tech enthusiast, is getting her 2 children ready for school. The room buzzes with activity. Sarah says, meet my family and our AI. She commands her AI assistant, which is on a shelf. Alexa, what's my schedule today? You have a meeting with investors at 10 a.m., lunch with Diane at noon, and your son's piano recital is at 4 p.m. Sarah gets a notification on her smartphone. It's a reminder from her AI app, Zoom AI. She says to this AI, prepare documents for investors meeting. Okay, I'm not going to go through the rest of the script. I'm going to give you a link later with the script, and then I used Lumen 5 to create the video. And then I used another tool to create images for social media. Guess how long that took me? 5 minutes, if even. Synthesia is an AI-based tool that will allow you to personalize video creation. The organization I work for, Global Media Outreach, uses it because we work in a lot of different languages. So you can actually generate multi-language content using Synthesia. FlexClip, who wants to pay for a video editing suite? Well, I can give you one better. FlexClip will allow you to do video creation and editing using AI. So at the end of the day, AI will take complex tasks and break them down for you. And a lot of times, these tools will use natural language processing, just like ChatGPT does. You just write in. You don't have to prompt it even so much anymore. It's getting to the point where it understands the intent of what you need. Deep AI creates images and videos from text. So like I told you that I took a GPT script, I fed it into Lumen 5 and created a video, and then I went to Deep AI and I created social media images. We wouldn't be complete without audio. So transcription, background noise cancellation, music composition. So Descript, for those of you who are podcasters, guess what? You don't have to edit audio anymore. You can edit the text that will edit the audio. Podcastle converts blogs into podcasts. So that's the other thing I haven't tried with this presentation, but I could feed this presentation into Podcastle, and it would create the talk that I just gave. Now, obviously, it would choose different words than I have shared with you today. Anybody here make videos? You want royalty-free music? Amper Music. And last but not least, I have Ava. I couldn't find, this is debated how you pronounce this one. But it creates custom music for video scoring. So literally, I could have created a short film. And people are using these tools to do these types of things, including a custom music score. We design, right? If we're doing digital media campaigns, we can design images, ebooks, logos, all through AI. Canva, a lot of people are familiar with Canva, so it suggests designs for intuitive graphic creation. So you know when you bring up Canva and it gives you some sample layouts, it's using AI. It's using AI. DALL-E 2, like I showed you, the gentleman about to jump into the ocean of AI tools. It could take text and generate images. Now, note you'll have to watch, because I was with a friend, and he's in UAE, and he's like, oh, well, the fact that this man has his arm around this woman, culturally in the UAE, that wouldn't be happening. So it's not smart enough to take cultural clues. Midjourney creates logos, artworks, and graphics. So some of these tools do multiple things. And then Designer, which allows you to create ebooks and lead magnets. So if you have like PDFs that you're creating that you want people to download off your website, you can give it simple prompts, and it'll create a PDF for you. For those of you that are AI practitioners or enthusiasts, I'd like to recommend a couple organizations that you could become involved with if you want to learn more and go deeper. First is Faith Tech. We've got faithtech.com here, and then we've got Missional AI. Missional AI started out in the Bible translation space. There's a lot of AI used there, but we're seeing it used more and more in discipleship, evangelism, and even capacity building or fundraising. Jacobs Media is a really good source for broadcasters who want to stay informed of trends. So if you're in television and radio, and you're wondering how AI is going to impact your life, they have some really, really, really good articles. And last but not least, there's some content examples in this Google folder, and I'm going to be dropping some other goodies in there too. I have some a really good prompt cheat sheet for those of you that are using ChatGPT. Thank you so much.